In this episode of the RV Small Talk podcast, we're getting back at it, and this time we're going to look at trends from 2024 in the camping industry and maybe project a little bit into 2025. What we're going to look at today is a really cool document put together by The Dirt, who has been a guest on this podcast in the past, and Toyota Trucks. They collaborated, they put together a lot of data, made it very beautiful, and we're going to look it over, talk about it, and tell you what we think. Tell each other what we think.
And you might be surprised what they figured out, because I was surprised, and I do this every day.
Yep. So we'll get into it. This is the RV Small Talk podcast, where we talk about lightweight trailers, truck campers, and people, places, and adventures that go right along with them. We are your hosts from Princess Craft RV. I'm Clint.
I'm PJ.
And I have not looked at this document for 1 second
before
we started this podcast.
Eyes.
Wild card.
Well, you always are kind of our wild card for great commentary, Lindsay. So we're counting on it this time, okay?
Along for the ride.
Very good. Very good. So I do want to mention that we have a sponsor for this episode. It is MDC USA. You may have seen us on our YouTube channel or in our social media. We have a lot of new products from MDC USA. Their trailers are Australian design, Australian engineered for the Australian environment. And yet they are so nice, so kind to bring them over here to North America so we can go traipsing all over really rugged terrain.
That's right. I love that their kind of what tagline is, we get you there and back.
Explore confidently.
What's happening?
Do they have several taglines?
They might.
I don't know. But I asked about that because I thought it was so interesting. And they said, well, you can go 200 miles in the outback and not see anyone.
No.
So it's important that people know we not only get you there, but we get you back.
Which is why they're so extremely rugged built, but also they think about water capacity. Obviously, water, very foundational to being able to survive or enjoy your time. So lots of water capacity, massive amounts of power from solar to bank to inverter and all that. They've really thought it through so that you can do what you do.
And the campers aren't ugly. In fact, they're the opposite. You step inside of them and it feels so, upscale and pretty and clean and not at all kind of like the dated, off-road campers that you see sometimes. So that's what I love about MDC. Yeah, you can go anywhere, but is it pretty?
It is. It is. So thank you so much, MDC USA, for making this episode of the RV Small Talk podcast possible. And how about we dive into today's subject? The trends, the data, the beautiful presentation The Dirt and Toyota Trucks put together for us.
Well, data sounds boring, so...
No, it sounds like Star Trek.
Where do we start?
The first page is an advertisement for Toyota Trucks, but the second page...
Go figure, right?
They got to do what they got to do.
Yeah. So if you are listening, we're going to obviously give you as much mental picture as we can. However, we do have a YouTube channel. Look up the RV Small Talk podcast, and you will be able to see exactly what we're seeing as we're talking about it. So traipse on over there if you want your eyes to be, stunned, thrilled, something. Okay. First page, campers by the numbers.
Do you think more people camped in 24 than 23 or less?
So
more. It's always going to be more, right? It's going to be more forever.
Why is it going to be more?
Because there's more people in the world every year, and there's more people that are smart that go camping. I have no clue. I don't know. I just assume it's always going to be more.
I do have a question. Now, I didn't dive into the methodology of all this data that they put together. Is it just from the users of the Dirt app and website, or is it more far-fetched than that? Maybe is it worldwide? I don't know.
So we don't even know the parameters of the stats we're looking at here?
Uh-oh. I guess we're going to have to do more research on that. But let's just talk about the interesting points they made.
This is campers in the U.S.
I'm pretty sure
this is not worldwide. This is U.S. campers.
But is it?
I did read that in the beginning.
But is it campers in the U.S. is this data only from the Dirt?
I don't think so.
Or is it other apps, or is it state parks, or is it national parks?
Well, when you do data, you gather it from all kinds of sources trying to get the cumulative. So if you read the fine print, it will tell you. Mm-hmm. But I would assume this is not like KOA data or anything. This is the amount of camping reservations, mm-hmm. people using spaces. Because when you're looking at, I'm just going to move right on past that. When you're looking at campers in 2024, less people camped in 2024 than they did in 2023.
That's not what it says here.
Yes, it is.
Right there on that line. 2024 saw the second highest total number of campers on record, down slightly from the 84.8 million in 2023.
But they were more first-time campers.
Yes, that continued to increase.
So more people were of camping age than died.
What? No, I would like to think of it as more people got interested.
Camping age and camping inclination.
Yes.
Yes. More people were interested. More people said, let's try this. But slightly down from 2023 overall. So a lot of people decided to try it. Yeah, a slightly higher number decided maybe they weren't going to do it in 24.
Yeah.
12 nights camped last year on average per person. That seems like a lot.
It seems like not much to me. It's 12 nights?
That's 4 long weekends.
I mean,
would you buy a camper for 12 nights a year?
Yeah, but they're talking about all campers.
Yeah, this is all camping. This is tent camping. This is...
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
For a tent camping, that sounds like 4 very long weekends and a very nice time.
Yes. Easy.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Well worth a tent investment.
Let's see. This year so far, I've already done...
Don't brag.
I've already done 4 nights.
I've done 0.
Yeah.
It also says on this page that 4 out of 5 Americans have been camping at least once. Ever. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So pretty much everybody kind of gets it.
I wonder how many of those are from the military, and they're like, and that's all that I'm doing.
Still counts.
Yeah. Or you went tent camping with, your friend when you were in college, and you're like, no.
Yeah. I mean, these numbers are big. I keep on forgetting that our population is so much larger than I ever imagined. Mm-hmm. I mean, in 2023, cumulative first-time campers, they said in 2023 was 21 million, and that went up to 26.8 million. To me, my mind still feels like, well, that's the half of the U.S., but it's nowhere close to it. I forget how large populations are.
But that's cumulative in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So just last year, 5.8 million people decided they were going to try it, and 81 million people went camping.
Yeah.
No wonder we can't find a campsite, right?
Right.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, moving on. They break down the campers by age group.
Yeah, what do you think the biggest age group is? I mean, retired folks are always considered to be the highest.
Yeah, that's what we learned.
Highest group of campers. And it's amazing that is so not the case.
So here's always been my thought. Yes, there's always a bunch of retirees who finally have the ability to do it, but I always felt like families are the ones that are families with kids, because you have the adults and they want to take their kids going. So that's 2 age groups clumped together in my mind that would in my mind be more than the retirees. And I'm guessing that kind of plays out, but
if you look at this though, in graph form, between 16 and 20%, it ranges, but between ages 35 and 45, 45 to 55, 55 to 65, and 65 and older, those groups are all almost identical.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy? So everybody, the same similar percentages from 35 all the way up to over 65. Mm-hmm. Those percentages are very similar. So it's camping across all ages.
Even 25 to 34. I mean, that's 17.3%. That is way larger. It's like there's no clear winner here. They're all, I don't know. pretty, like a lot more equal than they have been in the past. Because when you come into this industry, you know that 55 and up are the people who camp.
Right.
Those are the people who walk through our door. But then you start to think about the people who are actually walking through our door, and
it's everybody.
It's everybody.
Everybody, all ages.
And it's not just people who walk through our doors, people who walk through the door of Academy or REI and all that too, who camp differently, but still camp. And this is one of those things I'm wondering, we talk all the time, not we, I guess I hear all the time, families aren't going outside as much as they used to. Whoa, this looks like a lot of people are going outside. Maybe not, you're not seeing them playing in the neighborhood streets as often as we used to, but there is an inclination to leave urban areas and go find a trail.
That's right.
Well, and there's a lot of people in their 20s and 30s who
have never been outside, and they want
whoa, is this what it's like?
Who still like being outside after being raised with cell phones and video games, which is the first generation to basically grow up with that.
Right.
This is really encouraging.
It is.
You know, the only group that is smaller significantly is ages 18 to 24 is only 10.5%. And that
they don't have enough busy.
Yeah. You're busy. You got things going on. So yeah, even then it's 10%.
Yeah.
So it is not nobody. And you know, I'm just so encouraged by those numbers.
Do you think the messaging is getting out? Like people are starting to hear it enough that we need to unplug and the health benefits of going outside. Do you think that that's part of these numbers? Is that
I think that
the messaging is getting out?
I think that it's somewhat trendy to be outside and be off of screens. It is, I mean, maybe it's because we live next to Austin, so that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. But
are they going to bring back cassette tape Walkmans? I want a Walkman.
It is trendy though. It's cool. And it's not, you know, like 20 and 30-year-olds. It's not, I don't know. It's not, what's another word for cool? It's not attractive. It's not fun to say like, I spend all day on Facebook. You'd be like, I went camping. Oh, cool. I don't know. It's cool. It's trendy to do stuff outside, to do the kayaking and jump out of airplanes and hike the mountain. Right. I mean, that is cool.
Sure.
If you think about it, you know, also online has contributed to going outside, buying an RV, going camping, going hiking. There is so much of that you can easily connect to.
Yeah.
And if you just slightly connect to it, it follows you with all kinds of wonderful things and easily accessible camping reservations and
through apps
trails
like
and REI and all of these things. So that and the marketing for getting outside has really increased and become much more digital in the last 5 years.
Right.
So all of this has contributed.
Sure.
And you know, the interesting thing on this is there has been a significant increase. Oops, lost it. But
bring that back.
In diversity of who's camping. And that's great.
And this is something we've spoken about before, that it does not matter. It doesn't matter one bit who you are as a human. Being outdoors, doing outdoor activities with people, maybe you got your solitary moments, but you also have your community work. Being outdoors is a key component of being well as a human.
And being healthy.
Yes.
Yes. Emotionally and physically, right?
Right.
Just doing things. So moving on, I was just so encouraged by seeing this slide.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is getting better at going out and having some fun.
Getting better. Be better. Go outside.
They're getting more interested.
Now, here's a stat that does not surprise me at all.
No.
Okay.
And before you say this, can I say, folks, if you can look at this, we'll put in our show notes, we'll even put a link to this thing, but watch on the video. This is a beautiful.
They did a great job.
Beautiful. I don't document
presentation. Yeah.
So. Oh, and I love the way they make it so simple for us to decipher it. There is nothing tricky about this.
Right.
So it really helps us out. Thank you very much.
So We are so close, guys. We are so close to 50%. I really need you guys to step it up. But 49.7% of people who camped in 2024 brought their dogs. We can get it above 50, guys. We can do it.
Local shelter.
Yes.
Find an outdoorsy pooch.
We can do it. And 4.8% camped with cats.
We can get that number higher, too.
I feel like the number of people that come in here and get units and talk about camping with cats is higher than 4.8%. But, maybe we get the cat people in here.
Can you see the small print there?
Campers also reported camping with horses, rabbits, parrots, bearded dragons, mini pigs, and fish.
I love people.
Now, we've had a rabbit and a parrot camping in a tiny trailer at a rally.
Correct.
I remember they had a German Shepherd and a parrot in essentially a teardrop camper you can't stand up in. A German Shepherd and a parrot. I mean, the amount of just, I don't know. Everybody's got to behave themselves at that situation. Yeah. I thought that was so cool.
Well, I don't see guinea pigs on there, and we have had campers at our rallies with guinea pigs.
Right, in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Did someone bring
lived in the bathroom?
A lamb or a goat that they were bottle feeding, like the one time?
Probably was PJ, honestly.
Probably me.
Yeah.
I probably have done that.
Yeah.
So as far as not animals, it looks like camping companions, spouse partner is 73.2%, friends 39.3%. And I love that one because I think for a long time, camping with your friends was not normal. And now it is super normal.
Agreed. I feel the same. Now that you say it out loud.
And people are buying campers specifically so they can bring friends and not their spouse, which opens up a whole new world of camping. Like, make it a thing. Y'all make it a date. And children is 30.8%. I, along with Clint, really commend you guys because it's tough. We do it.
It's a project. But
that 30.8%, they're going to grow up and they're probably going to go camping and be part of the
next wave,
the new campers. Right. So
the outdoor adventurers. And that's 30.8%. That's almost 1 out of 3. Yeah, people camp with kids.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Love it.
The next part's depressing. Somebody else talk about it.
No. Read it. Campers,
no, I won't read it.
Campers increasingly show up. Cancellations and no-shows, every type of cancellation and no-show decreased in 2024. Now, it does say there are, 70.7% of campers say they used all their reservations in 2024.
Lies.
Up from 58.9% in 2020.
58.9%?
So what's the psychology going on there that we saw a huge jump of people going through with their plans?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, is your glass half full or half empty? Is that what we're talking about here?
Maybe so, because this isn't enthusing.
It's also showing that there only 4% was a no-show. Only 4%? I don't believe it.
Our rallies are higher than that.
Well, I guess out of the... Yeah.
Oh, that's percentage change. Change. Yeah.
Okay.
So we got to read the smallest.
See, we're
very
like,
small print.
It's presented so well. We know how to read it. I don't know how to read it.
So less people canceled in 24 than 23. Less people left the campsite early. Less people canceled with less than 2 days' notice. Less people didn't show up.
Yeah.
And less people arrived 1 or more days late. Now, they're still there.
Yeah.
But more people did what they said they were going to do by anywhere from 1% to 3%. I mean, it's something. It's
more
not a huge jump.
More people kept their New Year's resolutions last year.
They did what they said they would. Yeah.
Hey, look, see that top picture with the blue healer?
Yeah.
That's McKinney Falls.
Oh, you're right. And then my computer went to sleep again. Okay, there we go.
All right.
We're back.
Next.
That is a great spot at McKinney Falls, too.
That's pretty.
Man, don't you feel like a good camper when you know some of these pictures?
Yeah.
And all these pictures are sourced from people who are members of the Dirt camping community.
Oh, look at this slide. Oh,
this one's a call out.
Hold on. It is a call out.
This one brings controversy
Cancellations and higher incomes. Wealthier campers are more likely to no-show. Campers who earn more than $100,000 a year are 2 times more likely to no-show than campers with incomes under $50,000.
And that's a problem because people are always looking for sites and opportunities. And if you no-show...
By almost 3 times.
Yeah.
56.1% of campers said they had a difficult time booking a site in 2024 because campgrounds were full.
But with no-shows.
With all you rich people
who didn't show.
You can just throw away reservations. No, but that's kind of crazy.
What a strange statistic and yet very interesting.
I think if I was doing a survey, I wouldn't even think to ask that. But You know what? How weird that there is such a direct correlation.
Data analysts, they are a rare breed who are like, we have all the information. Let's find different ways to correlate it.
I guess that's right. So if you make more than $250,000, y'all...
Please keep your reservations or
cancel your reservation, would you? Because we would really like those stats to move more than these. Yeah.
The poors would also like to camp.
The rest of us need to camp.
In the King's Woods, in the King's Forest, please.
Please, sir. This is so funny. Man.
I'm going to move on to the next page.
Yeah, this one got awkward.
Yeah. Awkward laugh. All right. Camping and the economy. So this is one that comes up in it's a question for all of us is how much does the economy and what the economy is doing affect people's actual going forth with their plans to camp?
So the question on the page is camping inflation proof? Turns out mostly yes.
I have popped way too many sleeping pads for that to be true.
4 out of 5 campers said that inflation either caused them to camp more or did not affect their camping activities. I mean, that makes sense. You're stressed out and everything's tanking and maybe you don't really feel confident about your finances. So go outside and breathe some air. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go outside.
You want to travel or go somewhere. Camping is an inexpensive way to travel.
It can be. Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah, it can be because you don't have to go out to eat. You can bring your own food. You're not paying expensive hotel costs. I mean, there still are some expenses.
Right.
But you can... I always say you don't win any prizes driving far away.
Right.
You can camp a mile from your house and feel like you had an adventure and take a break from everyday life.
If you got those kids, do it in the driveway.
Yeah. I know that's what you do.
They love it.
I think that's great.
As long as that street light burns out, it's much easier for me. But absolutely. And here's the thing. We, of course, are focused on the RV side of things, but a basic setup for a great 3-4 day little trip of car camping is very accessible. Walmart, Academy, online, you name it. You can get what you need for car camping for any number of people. And it's very, very accessible. And you got a whole season, a whole year, maybe several years out of that gear.
But just so you know, 34.4% of camping properties say they plan to raise their rates again in 2025. But here's the thing. Doesn't everything get more expensive every year? I mean, at some point, Is it that shocking?
Everybody in the economy is trying to maintain some sort of cost of living.
I just remember my dad always being back in my day, that only cost $0.25,
Yeah, but what's a quarter worth?
And then now I'm going to say it to my kids my gosh, that's so much. Back in my day, it was only $1. But can we just get used to this is how the world works? Things just get more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you look at the rising rate stats here, they're saying that 38% increased their rates last year. Right? Mm-hmm. But the year before, 45% increased their rates. So it did slow down in 24, but in 25, it's going to pick up the slack again and go up to a projected number of 78%. So I don't know. It's kind of, if you average it out, it's not as much of a jump as it seems because it went down as far as rates in 25.
Right. And
everything goes up a little.
A little bit. But you remember just a few years ago, COVID years, I mean,
things went up a lot.
In every area of life, things went up a lot. But I mean, campgrounds, they were exploding. They couldn't keep up and all that. And then people started building new campgrounds. Now we have more new campgrounds, more sites to choose from. And we're not in COVID times. We're just basically pushing people to, camp. So I think that maybe we're finding some level of balance.
It will take some time to just everything even out and get at a place where it can sustain. But I am really happy about seeing young campers from 18 to 34 say 60.3% say tent camping is what they do the most.
And for the record, we have no problem with tent camping. We may be an RV company, but by golly, tent camping is such a great experience.
It's like the OG.
Yeah.
And it's a great place to start. We hear every day people coming in and they say, yeah, we went camping and we just decided, we're in our 60s now. We're a little old for tent camping.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, man, hats off to you.
Yeah.
You've been sleeping on the ground for 50 years. That's amazing.
We heard that at the RV show we just had last week.
Yeah, and I love that because that's something that I didn't do. I graduated from tent camping pretty darn early. So,
was it like tent forts in the living room straight to the Volkswagen bus?
No, as a kid with my family, we went tent camping.
But do you no-show on your reservations?
No.
They were good.
Never.
They were good.
Never.
Would we have to make those reservations?
And I suspect the 60.3% of 18 to 34-year-olds that are tent camping don't make over $250,000 a year. And most likely they show up for their reservations too. So I love
18 to 34-year-olds.
I love that that it's cool to be young, to be out there, to be camping. And over half of them are just camping with their friends. Yeah. They're just out there having a time. I
vaguely remember 18 to 34 and everything I did felt epic.
Really?
I was the hero of my own story. I had the whole monologue in my head and background music and all that. Background music's still a little bit there, but it sounds a little bit more like elevator music these days. But I digress. Going camping with my friends was really an epic thing every single time.
It was really fun in your 20s. And there's so many great places around Austin.
Yeah.
We would just, grab a tent and go.
Yep.
Well, I love that that's still happening.
Middle-aged campers bring their kids and dogs to the campground.
Put my hands together and go, here I am.
No crap.
Those are your people.
If we don't bring our kids, I think it's so funny. Middle-aged campers bring their kids and dogs to the campground. Yeah, I tried leaving them at home.
Okay, can you imagine paying for babysitters and dog sitters or to do boarding for your pets? No, just bring them with you.
Almost twice as likely to camp with kids. Yeah, because they have them. Oh, this is a weird stat. This is a weird page.
And
what are the choices?
In some way, shape, or form, we're all embarrassed when other people keep our kids, and we don't want to go through that embarrassment.
Most likely to work while camping. 50% more likely to do remote work while camping is ages 35 through 54, because that's where those jobs are available now.
Yeah.
Well, and if you can work while you're camping, you get to camp more.
Yeah. Indeed. And parks are making it more possible because they have Wi-Fi or people are getting on Starlink. So very cool. And look at this. I see pickleball showing up finally in this presentation.
So middle-aged campers, which is 35 to 54, tend to seek out campgrounds with swimming pools, hot tubs, tennis courts, and dog parks. There's no pickleball on there.
Look right there.
Oh,
right
sorry.
There. Look at the little icon.
I know, but it says tennis courts.
Kind of looks like a fly swatter.
We will wait for you now, pickleball. You'll show up at some point.
1 out of 3 campers are over the age of 55. 2 out of 3 campers. I'm just reading. Wow. Okay. I mean, middle-aged campers for the win. Woo!
Look at that. Campers over 55 have big camping plans for after retirement. And look at the breakdown. National parks, open road exploration, free camping, I mean, I guess that's like BLM.
Which is off-grid.
Yeah. Visit family. That makes sense. And trip with grandkids, which comes in here all the time. My plans are to do trips with my grandkids.
Have you told your grandkids about that?
28.9% don't buy the bunkhouse.
Yeah. Do not buy the bunkhouse.
They won't camp with you as much as you think, unfortunately.
Yeah, and if they do, they can sleep on the floor.
Or in the tent that you're in. Throw them aside. Camping trends. Solo camping has also gone up.
Love that for us. Yes. Go by yourself.
And do what?
Put on your big kid pants and just go be.
Can you put on your big kid pants by yourself?
I'm putting on my big kid skirt because I like a tutu.
I'm going to put on.
Top reasons for camping alone. 69% said I like the solitude. I am that 69%.
My lawn is everywhere. Get off of it.
50.6% say friends and family aren't always available.
And gosh darn it, I'm doing it anyways.
28.4% said I like to camp last minute.
Ooh, I love that.
As long as you don't cancel. 25.9% says camping as part of a larger solo road trip. What? Oh, they're taking a solo road trip and they're just camping along the way.
Yeah.
Solo camping increased for the third straight year. We have 30.6% of people camping alone. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And alone tent camping, which is awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
And then they have a breakdown of what format people are camping, whether it be tent and all the way up through RV, glamping.
Solo campers are more likely to prefer tent camping, camper vans, truck camping, and overlanding.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Versus traditional RVs and glamping.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
Farm camping. Y'all, do more of this. It's good. A great experience. Think Harvest Host, where they go to wineries and distilleries and breweries, but instead it's on a farm. And it really, really helps those small homestead-style, farmstead-style farms a lot.
So how do you find these other than Harvest Host? Do you know?
Find them on the dirt. You find them on Hip Camp. You find them all, they have their own websites.
Just Google it, man.
Google farm camping.
Yeah.
Do it now. Everyone pause this No, don't pause this podcast.
Farm camping near me. Go.
Yes, that's how you do it.
One in 7 campers camped on a farm last year.
Yep.
More than 3 times the amount in 2019.
Okay, and it's not just any farm. It's not just like vegetable only farm. You can camp those, but some of these have the friendliest goats who walk right up to your tent.
Mini cow farms?
Mini cow farms? I'm sure they're there. Yeah.
What about like wildflower farms?
Yeah, I would think you could find some of those. Certainly alpaca.
Young campers are the most likely to plan on camping in a national park. That is interesting to me because I feel like most of the time old people are like national parks. Well, they're trying to do the bucket list thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how many times have you heard, I'm going to camp in every national park?
Mm-hmm.
All the time. But are these the old people who also cancel so the young people can't?
I just want to shake my fist at this thing.
At the cancelers. So, more young people need to get into the national parks because obviously bears prefer the young, tender meat.
Oh, stop.
No?
Stop.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Next. I see pickleball.
It's actually written out this time.
Glamping. Let's talk about glamping before we talk about.
This seems to have exploded in Texas. Like glamping. If you look around like Dripping Springs, Wimberley, San Saba, Llano, you can find all these places that have these little tiny homes
yurts
and tree houses. There's treehouse camping all over the place. And just look it up on the dirt because it'll blow your mind that people are putting their efforts into developing this, and it seems to be working.
But there was a 50% drop in glamping compared to 2023.
Huh.
So a 76.2% plunge from the 2022 peak of campers who say glamping is their primary camping type. So I think the glamping it got popular with the COVID thing because I think it was a way for people who weren't campers to try camping. So everybody went out and quote unquote glamped, right? It's easy. You don't have to buy a trailer. You don't have to buy a tent. You just kind of show up and you have everything there for you. And then all those glampers were like, man, this is so fun. I should buy something so I can do it whenever I want.
Oh.
And then they went and bought stuff, so nobody wants to glamp anymore. That's my theory in my head.
Let's go bother Caitlin, because this is what she and her family like to do.
It's true.
They like to go.
I've never been glamping. I think it would be so much fun.
Well, how about after this podcast, we find you some reservations and get on with this?
Can I be part of the 69.2% who wants to go by themselves?
You can.
Yay.
You can. I think your kids are of age that they can go ahead and make it in the world.
Right?
Yeah, I've met them. They
wipe their own butts.
They have conversations with adults, therefore they have adult conversations.
They can make PBJs.
Yes. And I'm hungry, so they can prove it to me anytime.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, so why such a big drop? I mean, that's pretty crazy.
I just explained it to you.
Yeah, I still think I'm not.
You're not buying it?
I'm not all the way there.
PJ,
it was a trend. It was a trend that's over.
You haven't really gone like in one of these glamping yurts type treehouse situations.
No, I haven't.
Why have the two of you not done this? I know why I haven't done it.
Because it seems kind of silly when you have a camper.
I mean,
it feels pricey.
It feels wrong. It feels like I'm
pricey.
Cheating on my horizon.
Oh,
okay, well,
it's going to get jealous.
Okay. It is going to get jealous.
But I feel like you two are the type who would jump at, okay, I'll do it once just for that experience.
Yeah. But then I have to like find a place and then book it and then pay for it and then show up and it's so hard.
It's the show up part.
It's so hard.
I would love to see the glamping piece of it, the segment broken down by income.
Yeah.
Ooh, because it really feels to me like glamping was a way to, instead of go to the Four Seasons, you just find some cool little something that you can pay a lot of money for to just show up. It's all set up for you. And it's away from people, which was really popular, of course, during the pandemic. But now that there is no pandemic and you've done that recently, it's kind of like, check, moving on. So I'd love to see that because it feels a little more like a very cool hotel room. And most of those places, they're not that cheap.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. Speaking of a not that cheap place that's in Texas, I'm not sure where in Texas, but you can glamp on a farm that has giraffes.
Yes.
And
it's up north.
Is it up north?
It's ridiculously expensive.
Well, but they also have the hot tub where you swim with otters, right?
Yeah, which is
the same place?
Yeah, which is ridiculously expensive.
I know. It's really fun for me to
PJ,
go.
Sell it.
Yeah. So there are cool experiences to be had here.
Mm-hmm. Should we get to the pickleball?
Is
pickleball, it's just like tennis. Why do we keep making more games that are the same as other games?
Pickleball courts are the top amenity. Campgrounds added. 17% of private campgrounds added pickleball courts as an amenity in 2024.
9.8% of campgrounds added Wi-Fi.
I feel like part of that is because Wi-Fi is kind of been established for a while.
I cannot believe that 9.8% didn't have Wi-Fi. Okay, seriously.
Yeah. Now here's a sobering one. Wildfires increasingly affect camping.
1 in 5 campers had to alter their plans last year due to wildfires and natural disasters.
Wow, that will be so far higher than that.
Yeah, and I think that that's because the most campy, in air quotes, campy of states tend to be, West Coast kind of
the ones that
locations.
Burn.
Yes, they're the tinderbox.
The
of camping.
Ones that are full of trees.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. That'd be interesting to watch.
I love that happy little graphic of trees on fire.
Yeah.
It's like
only the fire's happy.
Yeah.
Okay. Campers by region.
Ooh.
Oh, this is all the sad part of camping.
Is it? Because look, we live in the central and it's the easiest band in the U.S. to get camping because it's all the flyover country.
And it's
hot.
It's
flat.
Just
it's hot. It's flat. It's windswept and you can get a campsite.
What? There's Nebraska in there. It's beautiful.
Nobody wants to camp in Nebraska.
I don't know.
Living is camping.
Somebody wants to camp in Nebraska.
Okay.
If you're from Nebraska,
we love
lovely.
you anyway.
We
love you. I would love to hang out in Nebraska, actually.
And I would even camp there.
Oh, man. I would love to just be places where everyone isn't.
Ah, yes.
Look at this. Okay.
Would you look at that?
No-show campers. Out of all the campers who admitted to no-showing a reservation, I thought that said 43%. Just kidding. But yeah, it looks like most of them were in the mountain states. Looking at you, Colorado. Come on. Least is the Southeast. Those Floridans.
They're pretty much already camping, right?
Floridians.
They're like, they're already out there.
We're not canceling. Get in the car.
Florida man, you keep going. Okay. So again, wildfires kind of came up on the West Coast and the very Northeast. Regional passions. Campers in this region. Which region?
It says it underneath the activity. So
okay.
Kayaking is most loved by the Midwest. Hiking, most loved, obviously, in the mountains. Fishing, the Southeast. Hunting, Central, because it's flat. What else are you going to do? And biking was most popular in the Northeast. Nothing too surprising there.
Van life, definitely the Pacific. That makes, that's
yeah.
California dreaming.
Very believable.
Right?
Living in a van down by the river.
All right. And then we have an advertisement for Toyota trucks where they explain to you what part of the country people are doing what type of camping with their trucks.
Toyotas.
Can we skip this page?
Yeah, we don't care.
Thank you, by the way, Toyota. You did great work on this presentation. Moving on.
Good job. Camping vehicles. 3 out of every 4 campers have camped in or next to their vehicle.
I have camped under.
Well, are you supposed to drive it somewhere else and then go back to your campsite?
Well, yeah. If you're backpacking, you drop your vehicle at the trailhead and you hike in. Or you have someone pick you up if you're through hiking.
I don't know. These are all reaching. More than half of campers plan to buy a vehicle in the next 5 years. Wow, more than half. Wow.
Well, is that the typical turnover rate for most people with a vehicle?
Most people buy a new car every, 2.5 years used to be the stat.
2.5?
Yeah.
Wow. People change cars fast.
So
2.5? No way.
Like 2.5?
Yes.
Like 2.
I don't know.
My brain stopped.
Buying a new vehicle every 5 years does not sound crazy.
But only 53.3% of campers say a truck is the ideal vehicle for camping. 38.6% say an SUV.
Yeah.
This is,
which is why Princess Craft is in business.
It's true. It's true. People love their SUVs. It's a great daily driver, and you can tow our small stuff.
You can tow something.
Yeah.
Right. Well, good work, Toyota. You worked your vehicle sales into this presentation.
All over.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
All right. Camping vehicles owned. Check this out. 49.6 have trailers. 32.2 have an RV, something that's motorized. And then specifically camper van, 20.3.
Well, I could have told you that because when you look at the RV stats, trailers are by far the leader.
Yeah. Look how much they're willing to spend on average. $58,331 average amount RV campers are willing to spend on a rig.
Wow, that's high.
Wow. Well, considering what we see at these shows,
yeah,
the vast range of what's available in a motorized RV, some of these, even the fifth wheels, way up there.
Well, if you think about it and you sell 3 at $25,000, you sell 1 at $50,000 and another one at $135,000 because it's a high-end rig or a motorized. You average all that together.
Yeah.
It jumps up there.
Yep. And then what are they looking for? By far, the first thing they're ticking the box when they're putting in their things for a campsite, they're looking for electric hookups. I believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It runs everything. You can bring enough water in most cases to get through a weekend or a week. So,
and having sewer hookups, obviously 10.3% of people think it's important, but at the end of the day, that is something that you can
wait on.
You can solve that problem.
You can certainly wait on that.
At any time. Electric hookups, you can't really.
And it's interesting that it says 8.9% need a pull-through site. And I'm like, Geez, 1 out of 10 people need to figure out how to back up.
Oh, but some of those like 40-foot long rigs and all that. Oh, backing those things up.
They're easy.
Yeah. I guess it's a game of relativity.
It's true.
Well, pull-through sites do make it kind of effortless.
Right.
So that is nice.
Right.
That is nice.
I agree. The long rigs, they don't twist and turn on you as fast as the skippy short ones. But the amount of space needed and the clearance. However, moving along, here's the Dirt's.
Now the Dirt has to do a promo.
Self-promotion. The Dirt is the most downloaded camping app in the U.S.
Okay, but also, we are not sponsored by the Dirt, but it's a really cool app. And if you have not downloaded it yet, you really should, because I don't know. It's a cool way to find any camping spot, whether you're tent camping or want to camp on a farm. I don't know. They did a pretty cool thing here. We have an episode where we got to interview the founder of the Dirt, and I think it's cool as heck. So y'all should look that up and listen to it. It was really fun. And the Dirt is DYRT.
Right.
The Dirt.
Dirt.
So I can't stop yawning.
Anyway, it's definitely one of the best apps out there for navigating camping spots.
Right.
So I don't mind giving them a little bit of a plug there, because these stats are so interesting. You know, most of us were thinking it was, still an old person sport, that maybe tent campers and off-grid campers were maybe outliers.
Going by the wayside.
It's just amazing to see all the stats and how much this is now ingrained in the American life.
Right.
So what surprised you the most in these stats, Clint?
Oh, I don't know what surprised me the most. I'll tell you one thought that was happening when we were talking about what people are looking for at campsites, and then we say electricity first. I was thinking, but so many rigs are getting outfitted, much like the MDC USA trailers, with so much solar and battery power that those campers, that might not be their first priority. I mean, their first priority may simply be availability and nothing else, because a rig like those MDC USA trailers have enough power and water capacity and ease and comfort and luxury.
Yeah, with the increasing amount of units that have these off-road capabilities and off-grid power supply, right. I'm wondering what this will look like next year as far as what, like, the age gap and also where people are camping, because before it was like you had to spend tens and thousands of dollars extra after you buy your camper to get it outfitted. But now a lot of them are coming with the stuff that you need to camp off grid. So how is that going to change people's perception of like where they can camp or how long they could camp or how much money they want to spend on a rig?
Well, look at the amount of infrastructure we're seeing built up in this time. You know, you have RV parks that are really brand new in the past 3, 4, 5 years. And they're all bringing in the pickleball, but they're also bringing in the Wi-Fi and all that. And now we're having rigs that are going places that are dispersed camping, and they have their Starlink, so they don't need Wi-Fi.
Right.
And, their pursuits are changing. So will this be a little bit of just a high point season for all these RV parks that have all the amenities when people are already moving to this more wild and self-sufficient way? But
you saw so many people bringing their kids and camping in places with swimming pools and
rivers, lakes, ponds.
It had
puddles.
Swimming pools, pickleball courts, hot tubs, yada, yada. Yeah. So, Lindsay, was there something that jumped out at you that really surprised you?
Rich people cancel.
Yeah, that surprised me too.
There's your theme.
I don't know. I'm a little bit bitter inside about it. Like, I guess the fact that that's true doesn't really surprise me. It does really surprise me that they chose to research that and put it in this and make that a thing that we need to know. But yeah, I mean, I guess it was interesting, not really shocking, but definitely interesting.
Yeah. It became a theme intertwined throughout the company. That's for sure.
It was like they're picking on him.
PJ, how about you? Something interesting.
Well, I think I was just surprised by what a contribution to the camping community, tent campers and car campers and even van campers and farm camping. All of that really is become a huge piece of why every age segment is now out there camping.
Right. Largely represented.
Yeah. And they may do it in different ways, but they're all out there. They're all using the park systems. They're all out there trying to find a different way for an adventure. Mm-hmm. And I was surprised that the glamping sites that are the yurts and the pre-prepared sites for experiences has gone down, because we keep hearing that, with a lot of these younger campers, that they just want an experience, right? And that's what they're out there doing, is gaining experiences. But they're passing on those pre-prepared glamping exotic experiences. So I don't know. That part was surprising too. Everybody just grabs a sleeping bag and sleeps in their car or gets a tent and gets everybody out there. That's encouraging to me.
Yep. Just this past week, I was literally looking up just a 10 by 10 tarp with tethers on it. And I was going to say, hey, kids, let's figure out different ways to make ground shelters just with a tarp and some rope.
Well, you did want to be an Eagle Scout when you grew up.
I did.
Right.
That is not what we do for fun at my house. So it sounds awful.
Yeah, we do that for fun, or we did when I had kids, but we did it inside off the sofa or something. And that was good enough. I really don't want to spend the weekend under a tarp. And, it's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody does it different.
Absolutely. Everybody, thank you for joining us for this episode of the RV Small Talk podcast. We do, again, want to thank the sponsor, MDC USA. They do make extremely capable trailers if you do want to be one of those more adventuresome ones who go off the beaten path and be off-grid. Solar, electricity, water capacity, luxury, rugged, overbuilt to the right amount. I mean, they're super capable. MDC USA trailers. They make this podcast possible too.
So join the stats next year or this year and grab something, get out there, enjoy the great outdoors.
I would like to end this podcast with a little bit of Todd Snyder, because it's been in my head since this podcast started. Are we ready?
Okay, we're ready.
43% of statistics are made up right on the spot, and 82% of people believe them, whether they're accurate statistics or not. I can't sing the rest of the song because
I feel like you could take that to the bank.
Okay.
The end.
Thank you, everybody.